Hey, friends! Your old pal, Barkey Dog here, back with another movie review. This time we're taking a look at a comedy from the 1990s. You know, back when they still made comedies. This one sports a television name brand in his first leading role in a movie. That's right, we're talking about Opportunity Knocks from 1990, starring Dana Carvey and Robert Loggia. Our story goes like this. Eddie is a con man. He's been well versed in all the facets of the con game by his Uncle Max, who raised him. But he's not that successful in the big scheme of things. He has yet to make a really big score. One day, he and his best friend Lou are in a bind and need some ready cash to pay off Lou's gambling debts. So they work a few cons and one goes wrong. They escape to a nearby house. The owner is away, so they help themselves to some free loot they can take to a fence. They pay off the gambling debt, but soon wind up in over their heads again when they steal a car they think belongs to the bookie. In reality, that car belongs to Sal, a gangster. As soon as they learn who owns the car, they abandon it. To complicate matters, in the back of said car was $60,000 of Sal's money our heroes didn't know about. Well, they get separated and Eddie goes back to the fancy house to hide out for a while. The owner is away in India, and the college friend of the owner was supposed to be a house sitter. He leaves a phone message that he can't come and watch the house, so Eddie has the place to himself. So he's living the life of Riley, right? But that's when the owner's parents show up and assume he's the house-sitter friend from college their son has been raving about for years. Now Eddie has to play along, and the father, Milt, takes a liking to Eddie. So does Mona, his wife. They take Eddie under their wing, figuring it's the house-sitter friend, and it turns out they have a cute daughter, too, which doesn't hurt. Milt wants Eddie to join his company and bring a fresh perspective to the business operations and marketing. Being a con man, Eddie knows about human nature, and that translates into a natural feel for marketing and advertising, in which he actually comes up with some new ideas that might help the company. At the same time, Eddie sees an opportunity to work a con, because this family has money to spare. But of course, he begins to fall for the daughter and these parents he wished he had. But time is running out. The son will soon come home and he'll denounce Eddie as a fake. And the gangster wants his money and is looking for Eddie and Lou. So what can Eddie do? Will he work his con and take the parents' money to get out of his jam with the gangster? Will he win the girl in spite of being a con man? Which way will Eddie turn when opportunity knocks? In our cast, we have Dana Carvey from Saturday Night Live. He was part of one of the best iterations of that long-running show, which had the likes of Mike Myers, Phil Hartman, Nora Dunn, Jan Hooks, Victoria Jackson, Chris Rock, John Lovitz, Dennis Miller, Kevin Nealon, Chris Farley, and Adam Sandler. Wow! Some of those names are just magic, aren't they? They put out some of the best episodes and created some of the most indelible characters in the show's history. Well, Opportunity Knocks was not Carvey's first movie appearance. It was the first where he was the lead star. He had been in other things prior to this, most notably co-starring as Jaffo in the television version of Blue Thunder. In this movie, Carvey shows off some of his shtick from SNL, such as his George H.W. Bush impression. Not da. But mostly he's just playing an original character reacting to the situations he finds himself in. He displays a bit of range here too, as you can see Eddie struggle with the moral issues of conning these nice people. Carvey went on to star in a few other pictures and co-star in some more, but outside of the Wayne's World movies and a few other things, Opportunity Knocks was probably his biggest success as the lead in a film. Robert Loggia plays Milt, the father. He's just great. I don't need to tell you about him, do I? He may be the biggest name in the cast, aside from Dana Carvey. Familiar character actress Doris Belak plays Mona, and she's fun here too. She was in the third Naked Gun movie, Tootsie, Batteries Not Included, and she even voiced Mrs. McCreary in the video game Grand Theft Auto 4. She's really good here as the mom. Uncle Max, the con man, was played by another familiar face, the bushy-eyebrowed Milo O'Shea. He appeared in a lot of things like The Purple Rose of Cairo, Only the Lonely, and even a couple of Duran Duran videos. Todd Graff plays Eddie's best friend Lou. He was in some interesting stuff as well, like The Abyss and Strange Days. He got his start on the Electric Company, believe it or not. Hey, you guys! Mr. Strickland is also here. That's right. James Tolkien plays the gangster Sal. You know him from Back to the Future, War Games, Top Gun, just a bunch of stuff. A very familiar face. And there's a few more, too. Julia Campbell plays the love interest Annie. She's done a lot of TV. And Mike Baccarella plays the bookie. He pops up in While You Were Sleeping, The Fugitive, Major League, and he was in the 1994 remake of Miracle on 34th Street. So, a good supporting cast is on hand for Dana Carvey's first star turn in a movie. And what about this movie? Does it work? Can you buy into it? Well, yes and no. The movie is not anything really new. It plays it safe a lot of the time and is therefore predictable. Carvey is the con man with a heart, helping his friend Lou out of a jam and working cons apparently only on the people who can afford to be taken. That's not very realistic for a con man, now is it? They're like gamblers in a way, always chasing the high of that next big score. And Eddie's a con man. So, in the final analysis, this guy is not Snow White. Neither is this idiot. But the point is, he's a crook. There's no way he could get this to work and win the girl, not in real life. Fortunately, this is a movie, and all bets are off. So while Eddie is poor and a con artist, he can still be a nice guy, and you can root for him to win in the end. While Opportunity Knocks is no Citizen Kane, and it's a bit by the numbers and predictable, this movie is surprisingly likable. So is Carvey. Carvey has to carry this thing, and he just about manages it. It's just amiable fun with Dana Carvey at the height of his powers, a breakout star. So I'm giving Opportunity Knocks 2 3/4 paws up. It's a fun watch. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.